What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I hope everybody is doing swell, well, thriving, and seriously surviving. Okay, blessings to everyone. I hope that everyone is doing the best that they can, trying to stay above water. You know what I'm saying? You know how you gotta rob Peter to pay Paul? Well, they may not rob each other, but at least they know each other exists. You know what I'm saying? Making ends meet. You know what I'm saying? As long as they can see each other, we working with something. So just keep that in mind. All right. I don't know where that came from, but it came from somewhere. Someone needed to hear it. Anyway, go ahead, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on. Get it and bring it close. I have coffee and water. Prayers to everyone in Jamaica. Prayers to everyone in Jamaica that is dealing with this hurricane weather. We are experiencing it where I am. So by all means, do what you need to do to stay safe. Okay? Okay. Okay. And I have allergies. So the allergies are acting up today. I was going to crochet and do this, but something's telling me just to focus on one thing and then move to the next. Ow! So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So go ahead, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you need, get it, and bring it close. Now, I was going to do this tea talk yesterday, but something just told me kind of like just simmer down before you do it because, you know, I want it to be relatable. And this is a tea talk where it will proactively put you in a different mindset depending on how you look at your life assessments, scenarios, trials and tribulations, things that you had to learn along the way, things that popped up that you didn't notice that were there that are now coming a bit, you know, unhinged or unstitched from the seams, and so you have to pay attention to it. But a lot of times we look at certain things and sayings and people's opinions about us, and we kind of take the old way of thinking and we're in a different place, right? So you need a different mindset to be able to deal with those places that may seem familiar. They may have been same, pre-existing, or they may just come up. They may just be things again that have come, you know, have unraveled. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to remember that you do have control and you do have power and you do have self-will, and there's value and worth in you actually, you know, sometimes being like in the midst of the feeling of something is happening again. Sometimes it's really just a test of your strength, the strength that we all need in order to continue to grow, right? So, you know, that's just like your body's growing, but you're trying to fit in last year's clothes. You know what I'm saying? You're pretty sure you're not going to be the same size. You know, you're trying to fit in toddler clothes, but you're a full grown ass adult. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. So this tea talk here is a tea talk where, you know, you have the ones in school, right? You have students that are in school that would tell the teacher the dog ate their homework. And then you have ones in school that were known as teachers' pets. Okay? You got one that makes excuses and you got one that excels. All right? Both of them have a mutual issue. All right? It's either the lessons or they feel like it's something in life that's making them fall to the wayside, making them feel like they're at a decline, make them feel as if, the turning point in where they're trying to go and succeed is not happening yet. When I was in school, I was a B plus student, strong B plus. Okay, and so I was also the one in school where I know in English I just did not talk. I did not talk. And then one day my English teacher came to my job, and I was just as vibrant as I am on this camera right now, and then some. And she was shocked because I always had my earbuds in. I never talked in class. I sat in the back. And when she came to my job and actually saw, and I didn't even know she was going to come in. So when she actually came in and she saw me when I was at work and I was just being me, she was just like, and my mom had came in at that time. So she was just like, yo, she didn't say yo, but your daughter is very quiet. She is very quiet. She does not talk in class. So to see her here and she's outspoken and outgoing, like, oh my God. And there's, for me it was the scenery, and you get to a point where it's like, for me, I just did what I needed to do and got the fuck on. But needless to say, in my life, in my lane, on my journey, my teacher was my higher power. And then my lessons was life. All right. When you're in school, you feel like someone you feel as if someone who does right and stay on the straight and narrow, you see them as someone that's a goody two shoes. You know what I'm saying? You see them as being a teacher's pet. Instead of turning their homework in late, they turn their homework in on time, if not early. But they're a teacher's pet. Right? But then again, comes to you, your homework is not only late, bitch, it's all wrong. And yet, you're seeming to downplay how well I'm able to follow directions. And, and you want to try to downplay as if, like, we got the same type of success. No. You know what I'm saying? Teachers pet my ass. You can call it what you want. I am God's child. I am the higher power's immediate family member, bitch. Okay, we got a straight bloodline. We ain't have to do no Rothschild situationship to make sure the success stayed in the family. No, it's already in you. You feel me? So I want to bring light to an elevated perspective and definition of being a teacher's pet. When you are in school, you are the student, and that adult, that instructor, that teacher, she is the person, or he is the person that's going to lead you to correct answers, how to be responsible with just any type of language of any type of subject, whether that's social studies, down to math, down to reading, you name it. These are the people that are going to lead you the correct way for you to be able to utilize and maximize what it is you're going to learn from them. Okay? So isn't God the same way? Isn't our higher power the same way? Right? He leads you to do the right thing. He leads you to make right decisions. He leads you to, he prepares you. So regardless if they turn in their homework late and they got excuses and they see you as a teacher's pet, well, first of all, he's not going to send you to any battlefield and you not be prepared. So you doing your due diligence, yet they got something to say about it. Yeah, it's going to look like that. It's going to look like that. But on a spiritual tip, you following what he says is you allowing him to lead you. You being consistent in that is allowing him to lead you. It's those small baby steps. So when you get to a point in life where you feel as if like, you know, because we all have those type of people that can be around us one way or another, spirit, physical, you name it, everything has like a movement about it, an energy about it, okay? And so whether you know it or not, until it's either too early or too late, you get to a point where you start picking up certain things about your journey. When things seem not to be so loud is when normally people get the most antsy. If you are a teacher's pet, you're more of a person that is prepared, that is going to do their due diligence. Like you can't say you want to heal but not do anything to have it happen. You have to do the work. All right? And so when you are willing to do the work, this is when those character building scenarios start to happen. We're no longer in school. You're no longer a basic teacher's pet. You're at a point in place now where with what you learned and where you're going to have to utilize that to maximize whatever opportunity or whatever success that you want. So now that you don't have that school teacher over your shoulder, who is it now that's watching over you, that is leading you, that is teaching you, that is allowing you the skills necessary to maximize and keep moving forward? So we need to talk about, in spiritual terms, being a teacher's pet. I had to write them down because they were really good. So, okay, again, you know, your lessons are what you learn in life, all right? Life is your best teacher. It is filled with lessons. Your teacher is God, because guess what? All these lessons come from Him. So we have times in life where, you know, we feel like hurdles and trials and tribulations are being thrown to us. You ever heard that thing of saying, I'm turning that music off because I can't hear myself think. You ever heard that saying, thrown to the wolves? Sometimes when we get out in the real world and we really have to deal with real things, we really feel like real life has thrown us to the wolves. In reality, remember all those times you turned your homework in late? You feel that way because there wasn't no due diligence. So somewhere we need to go back and we need to retrace and redo a step. All right? There's times where we feel as if like they're not even hurdles. They're more like WTF moments where we come across something or something happens to us where we get to a place where it's just like, well, where did this come from? I have tons of those moments, and I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 we probably have had them too, especially if you're here and you've already subscribed to this channel. Okay, shouts out to the new ones. Okay, shouts out to France. All right, I've been watching my analytics, bitch. Anyway, so I remember a day and time in my own life, in my own journey, in my own lane, where a relationship ended, but it brought up some some unraveled ends. And these ends to me seem to come out of nowhere. But when you compartmentalize a lot of what you go through to be able to survive and keep going, you deal with these things and they wrestle with you when you finally take a moment to feel like you're in a safe place to have a breather. And that's when it really starts to like be on some, you touch that thread and you tug it one good time and the whole damn dress falls apart. And so it wasn't necessarily a trial or tribulation. It was like more like an awakening. And that awakening turned to enlightenment because, again, my teacher is supposed to always make sure right answers check your work, all right? And I practice both of those with my students. But at the same time, when we come to being adults, when we feel frustrated, when we feel as if like, okay, side eye, the friend is seeming like they're getting more ahead than what you are, you're not jealous. You got a question mark. You're not questioning God. You're not cussing God. It's just you got a question mark. It is okay to ask questions. It is okay to ask questions. What's not okay is you yelling and fussing at him and feeling as if like that's going to get you the answers that you're looking for. It's not. All right. Just like someone in the child support building can touch one button and bitch all is paid up in full, that's the same way God works. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Think about it. So, with noticing certain things coming unraveled at the seams. So it could be something from childhood. It could be something that may have happened like yesterday. You may have forgot about it. You may have put it in a place where you can store it, save it, and you moved on to be able to get through. At the same time, when you get to a point in place where you're able to find yourself accountable for being able to do the due diligence to heal, you will find that you'll come to a place where those things, yeah, you did right. You turned your homework in. You worked on yourself. You put forth the good foot. Okay? And you learn life's lesson that God presented you. Think about it. When people go to therapy, what happens? They present dilemmas or scenarios or whatever it is that they go through. They present it, right? And in order for them to go through it, to get through it, to heal, in order to heal, you got to go through it. These are the things that in life need the affection and the love, and you need to acknowledge like the encouragement and the support that's within the higher power. So that's crazy. Now this is also interesting because this is what life and what a higher power shows, and what is necessary for it to come through you to see that change is possible. Believe it or not, life and God, those two work as to have someone better that they can learn from. All right? You can learn from the higher power and you can learn from life. It all depends on how you take that lesson and you move forward with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times people don't feel like they want to fight in life. They want it to be peaches and cream. They really want it to be. But this is the thing. If it was that easy, everybody will get it. And that's almost as if like you invite the whole family out to dinner and you tell them that you're going to foot the bill versus you wait until everyone has ordered and then you make a justified decision from there. The bill's going to be totally different. Totally different. But the challenge is, do you see yourself being a people pleaser? Or do you see yourself as someone who gets along and doesn't mind sharing some of their riches? You see what I'm saying? It all depends on how you look at it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean on the outside you're going to continue to carry on that nickname of being a teacher's pet. Because again, this is all things that are needing to be acclimated in you for you to carry that title. And even then, let me put it to you like this. It's not going to be on no plaque on your desk. This is for the unseen. This is for the energy. This is for the aura. This is for how you want to protect your peace and your soul and your conscience moving forward. A lot of times, the things that break us are the things that we decide to go along with. They're not things that we stand up for. They're not things that we protect. They're not things that we let it be known like, hey, there's a boundary here. And a lot of times, the main lesson a lot of people have to learn is to unnormalize the idea that boundaries are bad. They're wrong. They're mean. No. You're a strong person that has a strong foundation, and you have everything in your power on your side to exercise that. Okay? So, life knows more than you. This is why it's so important for you to do your homework. So while she's sitting in the front of the class, or she sits in the back, she's quiet, or she's socializing, where the grades at? Because who out here had D's and F's but still graduated? My thing is this: a lot of people that I come across who do their due diligence, that actually turn their homework in on time, they actually pay attention in life as to what they go through and what they come out learning. A lot of times in life, whether it's class assignments or them just journaling, you find a pattern. You see a pattern and you try to fix it as much as possible. A lot of, just like if a teacher was to give back your homework and say, hey, make these small adjustments and I'll take it back and I'll give you the A you deserve. Don't, that type of grace, what? You can't tell me you don't receive that from a higher power. You know, that's what red flags are for. That's what red flags are for. That's what presets are for. You got to know, like, if you know these things and you're aware of these things, you've practiced these things, you've gone through examples of these things, you've gone through stages in life behind these things. You've had a whole mermaid episode, a whole new world, singing it in a circle, swinging it around like a helicopter. And you mean to tell me you're offended because somebody thinks you're a teacher's pet? Honey, I'll be his pet, his friend, his partner, his spouse. Like, don't play with me. Because all you're doing is complimenting me. How they're mistreating you degrades them. So at the end of the day, they can play all they want. They can flex all they want. They can act like they have some type of attention deficit disorder all they like. That's their lane. That's their journey. That's their choice. I've seen many of folk out here take life for granted, take God for granted. And they literally, shouts out to Jeremy. I don't know if he is watching or what, but literally, they will bullshit, procrastinate, and bullshit some more. And when the time comes, literally, it's a week before graduation, and they tap out. Dude, what was the point of that? What was the point of that? Like, what is the point of that? You're supposed to be walking, and you 2-3 letters behind my last name, and here it is. I'm hearing you dropped out the week that we supposed to be walking across the stage. Like, but see, your dog ate your homework all the time. And now, life is going to be your best teacher. Right? Life is going to be your best teacher. Because when you had a teacher that was willing to give you the resources, the textbooks, everything you needed, you didn't see that to be a golden ticket to anywhere. You saw that to just be in the way. It being a problem with how you wanted to do what you wanted to do. So your ego told you we can turn in the homework later. Teacher's pet. I don't want to be no teacher's pet. Let me tell you something. God's been my president since I don't know how long. Regardless if we do have a recession in real life, let me tell you, always cover my needs. Always. You may not like your job, you may not like your boss, but you know what? Your check clear every 2 weeks, every month, every week, you name it. It clear. You may not like having to constantly go and use resource after resource and use your credit line for things, but you know what? You did what you need to do and you got what you need to get through. It took a teacher for you to understand how who is it? Robin, Peter, and Paul, them motherfuckers, they may not always borrow money, but damn it, they damn sure is friendly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, sometimes it's okay to have that title, teacher's pet, by all means, in real life and in a spiritual realm. Call it what you want. Goody two shoes, call it what you want. So, regardless if it's hell on earth, I'm trying to get to heaven somewhere when I need to permanently close my eyes. So, you can call it what you want. Teacher's pet in school, yeah, I got good grades. I got all A's. And what? And what? And what? Because my teacher is telling me I can make my own opportunities. Life is not going to tell me what I got to make out of it. That's always been my thing with growing up. Seeing what I saw in high school. We had more people, we had more women in high school, more girls in high school pregnant than graduating. I didn't want that for myself. I just, no. It happens. I get it. I understand it. But how the adults were around me growing up and how they were treating me, I ain't want none of their damn DNA coming down, trickling down my bloodline. Hell no. Skip this generational bitch. I can wait. I can sit this one out fat. That's fine. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? We need to detox, cleanse. We need to do something with the bloodline at this point. Because you is not trickling down to my kids. And on top of that, if this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do. Because that's what I need. It's in my plan. It's how I see it. And that's what it's going to be. So if I got to study, if I got to read my word, if I got to do what I need to do, then so be it. So be it. But when it's time for you to get out in the field of life, in that field called life, you're going to wish you remember whatever it is that was put in front of you before. Because in order for you to relate, you got to go through it first. So, teachers, what? You can say what you want, child. You don't hear me complaining. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. How do y'all feel about being a teacher's pet? You know what I'm saying? Being God's child. I love it. I love it. Yes, it comes to a point in time, there is a topic, a subject or two where you may be uncomfortable. You may have to open your mind to learn something different. We go through that in life anyway. We go through that in life anyway. So you either sit down, lock in, and focus so you can understand the curriculum. Do you lock in and focus and make sure that you pay attention to the red flags so you don't repeat the same stuff? I mean, you tell me. Being a teacher's pet, I don't look at it to be a bad title. It's more of a thing of God saying, I see you. And I'm saying, I see him too. Hey, Sky Daddy, I see you too. As I should. Because if you're the one leading and guiding me, and you're showing me the correct way to do things, I don't ever want you to think I'm in some shadows. No, I am not a peekaboo bitch when I'm supposed to be learning a lesson. Absolutely not. Because guess what? Unless this is an advanced class, this better not be a remedial one. I'm not coming back here again. So teachers pet my ass. As long as I'm close to the exit just in case something happened, I'll be a teacher's pet all day long. As long as I'm able to have the resources to show my work, check my work, and on top of that, save it. Because we all have to remember the lessons that we had to learn from some fucked up shit that we've been through. How else do you not go back to the same thing? You learn what not to go for. How do you learn what not to go for? You learn through whatever the hell it is that life puts in front of you, God puts in front of you. Clearly, he thinks very high of you to put something in front of you that is unfamiliar, it's indifferent, and you have to learn to cope, heal, digest, sit with, or be accountable for. Teacher's pet? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So you tell me, are you one? Put it down below. Outside of that, y'all, I got other things I need to do. Okay? So be sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. Y'all go ahead. It's a rainy day and I was outside trying to greenhouse some of my plants. Because my garlic, the rain has overwatered it. So I had to go out in the rain, move them around. Sometimes gardening is the most peaceful in the rain because think about it. No one's out there. Like, no one's out there. And if they are, they're running for the hills because it's raining. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right. So, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Look out for one another. And until next time, I will holler at y'all later. Bye.